game's coming back.
Yay! Whoopee! Hooray!
No, they're not. They're using Monday.com to manage their projects online, so they don't need to be here.
What you mean?
Look, this is what everyone on the team is working on right now, when it's due and where it all stands.
But they still need their daily meetings, right?
Of course not. They're already synced.
We're doomed! Panic! Ah!
Hello friends, how's it going? We're getting closer and closer to 4 million subs. And also, in a shocking turn of events, we're now gaining so fast on Big Jill Hudson and could overtake her very soon with your help. So please, hit subscribe, turn notifications on, and enjoy the video. Right, hello, how's it going? Hope you're all good. Welcome back to the Will and E channel. Now, today, what we're going to be doing, since we're all stuck inside, I thought all of my mates and companions will have no reason not to answer their phones. So what we're going to do is call up everyone in my phone book and make them sing All Star by Smash Mouth without realising. Ahoy! Hello, sir.
Hello, mate. I feel like I'm being filmed. Hello, mate. Hello, you alright?
Yo, what's up, man?
Hello. How are you? G'day, g'day.
Yes, man. What's up, pussy? How you doing?
That's copyrighted music. You can't have that. Yes.
Hello.
How is it going? I'm back. I want content. Could you answer like maybe 6 or 7?
Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC is right around the corner, and news publications a lot cooler than me got a first-hand look at a whole bunch of information for Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC. Well, right now, we're going to be taking a look at some gameplay. This gameplay comes to us from Daily Motion. There is a Spanish article. This is Pokemon hype, alright? Leave me alone. There's the Spanish article on Pokemon DLC Isle of Armor, and admittedly, I don't speak Spanish. I have no idea what they're saying in the article, but we can definitely look at the article because it has 5 minutes of chopped up gameplay and see a whole bunch of stuff that perhaps we missed in previous trailers. They have dynamic... Oh, okay, great. Oh, every time we pause, we just get that on screen. Oh, great. This is running out on the beach. In the background, we can see the large tree and the hexagonal island, and we're right in front of the water tower that you would take Kubfu to. We can see that the trainer is already in the dojo garb. Starmie and Staryus appearing on the beach. Kinglers. I'm noticing that the Pokemon are spawning on the side. There is a Wild Choodle appearing in a cave. This Wild Choodle is level 60 and Cinderace is level 60, going in line with the video that I just put out talking about the dynamic scaling of Pokemon levels. Yeah, look at that double kick. Oh, you're not hitting abilities, Score Bunny. No, you aren't. It's not a Score Bunny, is it? Nope, Cinderace. That's it. Okay, and this appears to be the top of the mountain near the Dark Tower. And we can see Skarmory appearing. This is probably as soon as you exit the cave. And yep, right up there, that's the entrance to the tower. This is also where I believe Magnezone is going to be appearing. This place is looking dope. I like how it kind of sections off like that. Is this a Shinx appearing in the grass? It is. Look at that bad boy. Oh, it's raining right now. So does that mean that we have dynamic weather confirmed for the Isle of Armor? That depending on your date, the weather's going to change? Maybe. Maybe not. Heading up to one of the raid dens and overlooking the ocean. This is presumably much earlier, as soon as we arrived to the island, because the trainer was walking up to the dojo, not in the dojo garb yet, and it appears as though there is that a Galarian Diglett with the little metal hairs? I mean, not Galarian, Alolan. Yeah, that's an Alolan Diglett. Look at that. Huh, that's neat. All right, stop everything. It appears as though right behind the professor's lab, there's a building that looks like a train station, but we can see a giant Corviknight fly sign on it, and the player is gonna take a train to it. Okay, so you have to take a train to this isolated station, and this isolated station, assumably this is gonna, oh, yep, there it is. There it is. That's how you get over. Wow, look at that. It's a train station to a Corviknight station to another Corviknight station on the Isle of Armor. That's pretty neat. Oh, we actually get to see the Corviknight landing. That's pretty awesome. IGN did say we get a whole bunch of like sweeping panoramic scapes of everything. Oh, hello there. They are saying some stuff. Someone did translate this saying, let me take a look at your Pokedex. So presumably, soon as we get to the island is when we get the Isle of Armor Dex. We know that the Isle of Armor Dex is going to be separate from the traditional Pokedex because it has new entries. Now, do keep in mind that you most likely, like 99.9% chance, you do not need to complete the Isle of Armor Dex for the Shiny Charm, because the Shiny Charm is based on the Galar Dex, right? People ask some weird questions sometimes. Yeah, Pokedex. Thank you. I want to translate that. Google. Si ha añadido la Pokedex. The Armor Pokedex has been added to your Pokedex. Yes! Translation, woof for the win. All right, so this is... Now, we did hear that there's going to be 3 trials, right? There's 3 trials in order, I think, for you to get Kubfu or the Gmax Soup or something like that. So this is supposedly as soon as you leave the dojo, and outside are 3 members of the dojo and the 3 Galarian Slowpoke that we've seen in several different screenshots and cutscenes and trailers and stuff like that. And the 3 of them are just running off. Okay, cool. Maybe this is what they were talking about in the challenge that was similar to Sun and Moons. Like, you have to go hunt down those 3 Galarian Slowpokes. Now, this is interesting. We can see Kubfu is level 50 and Magikarp is level 60, but we don't know the Pokemon in the party. If there are level 60 Pokemon in the party, then Magikarp being level 60 makes sense. I don't know any of these words. This is the first scene again. This is not the first scene again. Okay, we're walking up, walking up. You're gonna enter the tower? Enter the tower. Show us the tower. Show us the inside. Nope, instead we get Toxtricity, who's level 60, taking on a Slowpoke. I'm gonna presume that even though that Kubfu was level 50, there were Pokemon in the party. Wild Slowpoke has a berry. So unexpected. I think it's hysterical that during this provided by Nintendo demo that they still have the text speed on fast. And here we have Galarian Slowbro at a Pokecamp. Yeah, attack that thing. There seems to be a random construction worker. That might be, oh, here's the Rodon bike with the new particle effects that remind me a lot of Super Paper Mario, that's for sure. Some new fishing spot. I know Reversal's can be very excited for that. Level 60 Cinderace, who's taken damage from his battle before. Yeah, that makes sense. What are you showing us, buddy? Oh, it's a different Diglett. This could be the challenge that was similar to the Sun and Moon challenge. Also, why are there Alolan Digletts in essentially the Isle of Man? Is there a volcano there? Was the Dark Tower built on what was previously a volcano? Back to the camp. Slowpoke is very slowly walking around, doing his thing. Great. Quality content there, Dailymotion. That's the end of it. Okay, thanks. Honestly, we don't see that much that's brand new. And we can see a lot of corroborating information along with the IGN article. Oh, hang on. You see the trainer is kind of waving themselves because it's hot? That's neat. New idle animations. But the Digletts appearing randomly, that definitely sounds like what they were referring to as far as one of these Sun and Moon-like challenges. Great. Love it. We do see exactly how we're going to transport to there. We don't know if we need to go to the Wedgehurst station. That is where we first saw the rival and who told us about the DLC. So maybe from the Wedgehurst station is how we're going to access that. Or maybe once we go to the Wedgehurst station, we're going to be able to fly there anytime. I'm curious about the fast travel. Like, getting back there and to and from there, is it going to be easy or is it going to be a pain in the butt? We do learn about the Pokedex soon as you arrive on the island, which is fantastic. We don't know how many Pokemon are in the Isle of Armor Pokedex, which assumingly there's going to be some from the mainland. As we saw Wingull already. Nope, Pelipper. We saw Pelipper already. And Kingler, who were both on the main aisle. So maybe once you start up the game, it's like, hey, here's your Pokedex. You currently have most of it done because you finished the Galarian Dex. I'm so curious if there's going to be more Galarian Pokemon. There has to be. Has to be. You're going to really give us DLC? And all it has is literally 4 Pokemon, Slowpoke, Slowbro, Cubfu, Urshifu. So weird. Alright, well guys, there's a lot of news coming out and I'm gonna keep you updated. Be sure to hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.
Feel like you're being watched over Wi-Fi? Get multiple layers of protection with Norton 360 at norton.com.
Let's hear it for the quitters. Every day in the UK, more than 1,000 people give up smoking. And with Nicorette Quick Mist to start tackling your cravings in just 30 seconds, you can join them. Nicorette, let's do something incredible.
The Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass is coming out in about 2 to 3 days here in the United States, and we're just very excited for information and a little bit desperate and wondering where the kid in Indonesia is who was taking pictures of the guide with his phone like he was running out of a house fire. Well, today we're going to be talking about IGN's 30-minute preview of the Isle of Armor DLC and what it means for us. IGN got themselves a 30-minute demo preview of the Isle of Armor, and they have some things to say that tell us a little bit about the story and a little bit about the environment as well. So we're going to be taking a look at that right now. This information is publicly available on IGN.com, but if you're like me and prefer your news and articles in video format, here we go. We saw 30 minutes of Pokemon Sword and Shield's Isle of Armor DLC. We got an extended new demo of the first expansion pass content. Okay, sounds promising so far. I'm also just gonna crop the screen here because I don't think you guys need to see ads about Elder Scrolls Online. We learned about the Pokemon DLC back in January, and finally at the 11th hour, we've been treated to more than 30 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay from the beginning of the Isle of Armor DLC. There are 2 specific things I want to point out from my hands-off demo. First, I noticed that the Pokemon in the first trainer battle were around level 60, the same as the highest level Pokemon in the trainer's party. Nintendo's Demetrius Boggs told me the Pokemon Expansion Pass's trainer and wild area Pokemon scale with your own Pokemon's levels. From the sub-article related to this, it turns out that as soon as you have access to the wild area, you have access to the Pokemon DLC. In addition, there was a screenshot that we saw, which we have not seen before. This image right here, which shows us that the area that we thought was a train station is actually a Corviknight station. I don't know if this is a long-distance Corviknight that's gonna fly back and forth. They did say as soon as you get access to the wild area, not as soon as you get access to the Corviknight ride, which is after the wild area when you go into, what is it, Wedgehurst? No, not Wedgehurst. The first big station where you get access to the League, right? So it makes me wonder, are we going to be able to freely fly to the DLC Isles? Or do we need to go to a specific area to do this long distance Corviknight fly over here, right? When they say that the Pokemon scale to your level for both the wild area Pokemon and the trainer Pokemon, which is really nice, they said that they hit level 60 Pokemon and that was the same level as Pokemon in their party. However, it doesn't really clear a lot of things up because in the post game, all the wild area Pokemon are level 60. Does that mean that once you're at level 60 in the post game that all the Pokemon are level 60? Or if you go there with a team of level 100 Pokemon, are the wild area and all the trainer Pokemon gonna be level 100? Because if so, that would be amazing. I want a real post game. Come on, Pokemon. As of now, we're unsure whether the DLC areas will continue to scale with your level, or if the areas become locked to your level of your Pokemon when you first visit. But we will update this soon after we hear back from the Pokemon Company. My money is on, it goes on how many badges you have. Regardless, this is great news. Anyone will be able to enjoy the Pokemon Sword and Shield's expansion pass at an appropriate level regardless of how high or low level their Pokemon are, though I can't comment on how difficult or easy this content will be. I don't know. I mean, for them to implement dynamic level scaling, it seems weird. I have money on it's going on badges, which means that if you're in post-game, it's not like you can make a team of level 5 Pokemon and just have a new adventure. But we'll find out in 2 days, right? We already knew that the Isle of Armor would include an additional wild area, but this demo confirmed that the entirety of the island is basically one big massive wild area, with much more diverse terrains than the one on the mainland. I saw coastal beaches, swampy marshes, lush forests, gloomy caves, and even deserts during my short tour. At many intervals during the story and upon entering new areas, the camera swept over each spot, creating a beautifying panoramic effect that highlighted the topography of the island. It also seems as though all these areas can be explored as soon as you get to the island without needing to progress the story, which leaves the pacing to the player's hands. Nice. Overall, each of these micro environments, seem to be a little more full of environmental touches with logs or trees than the mainland wild area was. I also saw a Pokemon interact with their surroundings in ways I haven't before. For example, I saw a Pokemon on a tree branch in the forest. Though Nintendo couldn't confirm how we would interact with this Pokemon, I assume it could be lured down by the tree with whistling at it, like you would lure a flying Pokemon. Huh, it sounds like they have new spawn locations that are like in trees and stuff like that, which definitely makes sense because how do you differentiate the forest from the marsh from everything else? You need to have those special spawn locations, and I think that's pretty neat. I also saw a huge, and I mean massive, Wailord in the water from the beach. I'm not sure whether this was 2-scale representation of an overworld Pokemon or if it was part of the story and had some other purpose. Most likely, it was just a Pokemon in the overworld. I know that it's not that surprising, but seeing a giant Pokemon in the water brought me a joy in that moment. Overall, I saw a large variety on the island, and I'm happy to report that a few of my personal favorites return. I did ask if the large inclusion of old Pokemon previously unavailable in Pokemon Sword and Shield was in response to player feedback, but the Pokemon company's Elvin G said that the Isle of Armor expansion was already being developed before Pokemon Sword and Shield were released. Before anyone gets up in arms, that's very common to the Pokemon company, to plan Game 2 of the same game. Like, they start working on Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon before Sun and Moon is released. They start working on Oris before X and Y is released. It's a common thing. Don't get all up in arms about it. Of course, there was more to the demo than just a tour of the island and its myriad of Pokemon. I also got to see the first 30 minutes of story, which included introductions to Clara or Avery, Mustard, and other NPCs that call the Master Dojo on the Isle of Armor their home. Because the demo was for Sword, they trained with Clara, which quickly outed herself as a self-interested, mean girl type. But her antics were nevertheless amusing. After defeating her in battle, she instructs you to not approach the dojo. However, this is, of course, where you must go to progress the story. Okay, I kind of like her. Am I playing Shield? I'm playing Shield, aren't I? Dang. I get the boy. Once inside the dojo after a quick battle, you're presented with a choice and the introduction of a move tutor that will accept Amorite ore as payment. Then Mustard explains that the dojo's apprentices must complete 3 trials in order to earn the dojo's sacred armor. One of the challenges includes collecting max mushrooms, which are used to create the previously revealed max soup, which unlocks the ability for a Pokemon to G-Max. Though it was only a single different trial, one that I can't reveal just yet. It reminded me of the mini-games you might encounter as part of the Sun and Moon Island Challenge, except perhaps less involved. Huh. I mean, the max mushrooms really goes hand in hand with the map, the big hexagonal tree that we saw that glows purple. I was on Philly Beatsu's channel and I made my statement on there in regard to that. I'll probably link it at the end of the video. But max mushrooms could definitely grow under that giant tree. Just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, when looking at the giant map of everything, you have this hexagonal tree over here that glows purple, and we believe is related to the player having this purple aura on their face while they're being surprised. It's worth mentioning that I saw a mysterious Pokemon looking over the main character from the top of the dojo. Because the previous promotional material for the Dilk, we know that's Kubfu, a fighting-type legendary Pokemon which evolves to Urshifu. We know this Pokemon is an integral part to the story and the Isle of Armor DLC, and its evolution is dependent on which of the two towers you choose to face, the Tower of Darkness or the Tower of Waters. Okay, great. Thanks for giving us additional information there, IGN. I saw one of these pagoda-like towers on the coast of the island, but that's as much of the story that I saw and can reveal now. Oh, so they did see more, but they can't reveal it. Oh, except the customizable bikes. I didn't see a menu for this, and Nintendo and Pokemon Company couldn't give me additional information, but I saw 2 different bikes with similar to the trails you unlock for your cars in Rocket League. Great, now I have to play Rocket League just to understand what you're saying? When speaking to one of my friends who religiously plays Rocket League, he said that trails in Rocket League show up behind your car when you hit supersonic speed. You can customize the trail, and I said, to clarify, you mean just the colors and particle effects? He said yes. So in addition to choosing our bike's color, it's possible that once we hit A for that little Rotom Turbo Boost, we have those different particle effects behind our bike that we did see during part 2 of the DLC's trailer. I loved exploring the wild area and catching a wide variety of new Pokemon in Sword and Shield. In fact, it was one of my favorite new features, considering that the Isle of Armor DLC seems right up my alley. Though I do hope this story is robust on its own and doesn't rely on Pokemon catching as a way to artificially pad its playtime too much. Then again, who doesn't like catching Pokemon in new places? Very true. This small look into the Pokemon DLC is kind of interesting. It has my brain thinking about stuff. That's what usually my brain does. I'm curious now because I have a couple of playthroughs. One of them has 3 badges, and then one of them has 8 badges but didn't beat the champion. 2 of them are in post-game. So my question to myself is, if I'm in post-game and I have level 5 Pokemon and I go there, are the Pokemon going to be level 5? Or are they going to be level 60? Or are they going to be higher than level 60? If I go there with level 100 Pokemon, are they going to be level 60? Are they going to be level 80, 100? What is it? We don't know. Anyways, I'm excited for this, and we are just less than 2 days away from Pokemon DLC. We do not have a release time yet, although I do have a video on speculation. It's going to be on screen right now, as well as the video of Philly talking about the map, and if you want to dive more into the map and its mechanics, there you go. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out. Following up from IGN's article today regarding Pokemon Sword and Shield's DLC and Pokemon being able to level up in the wild and in trainer encounters to your team, there was a lot of confusion for that, and now we have a little bit more clarity. Joe Merrick tweeted out today, and he said, so basically, from what we could tell, 1, level scaling exists. To what extent, we're unsure. That's where we left off in the last video. My bet is just trainers calling different teams based on what badges you have. That was my thought, that it's going to be scaling based on the amount of badges that you have and being in postgame. 2, there's side quests throughout. Excited for that. 3, it's essentially what the wild area should have been. Agreed. However, later on in the conversation, Casey DeFreitas, from the actual person who wrote the IGN article, says, I asked specifically if I had a party of level 100 Pokemon if the DLC would scale to it, and Nintendo said yes. Of course, still waiting on additional details about the level scaling though. This is magical. This is gonna be... Now what this means verbatim, without any creativity put to it whatsoever. That means that the Pokemon that you're going to encounter in the wild area of the DLC and the Pokemon that the other trainers are going to have during your battles are going to be based off of your Pokemon. Now, a few things are unclear from that. 1, is it going to be based off of a single Pokemon in your party, meaning the highest leveled Pokemon? Say, for example, you have a level 100 Pokemon and the rest are level 50. Are the wild Pokemon going to be based off of the level 100, or is it an average? In which case, that level 100 and those 5 level 50s would probably bring the average down to about 60. Is it going to be based off of a level 60 Pokemon? And that also arises the question that, say for example, you have 6 level 100 Pokemon, so the first part of my question is negligible. you have 6 level 100 Pokemon. And if that's the case, the Pokemon that you're going to encounter in the wild area, are they guaranteed to be level 100? Or is it going to be a range? I think a range is much more likely. We've always had ranges of Pokemon levels, right? So maybe if you are level 100, the Pokemon you're going to encounter are going to be between level 70 and 100, or 80 and 100, or 90 and 100, or 60 and 100. No idea on those details yet. So because we don't have these answers, I reached out to Casey DeFreitas, the person who wrote the article and who's been replying on Twitter, and this is what she had to say. I said, by any chance, do you know if it's just the highest level Pokemon or perhaps an average? Like a team of level 50 Pokemon in a single level 100, would you encounter the highest leveled Pokemon? She replied, I asked how they chose level 60 as the cap because that was the highest level Pokemon I saw in the offhands demo, but then they corrected me and said I saw a level 60 Pokemon because that was the highest level of Pokemon in the player's party, and that it would tailor the experience no matter what level they went to the island with, including level 100. They couldn't really go into any more details or clarification than that because they didn't know. Again, she wasn't speaking to the developers. From what I saw, the player had a few Pokemon in the 40s, but the highest level Pokemon they had was level 60. The first trainer battle and the other battles that she saw after that had Pokemon between level 58 and 60. Unfortunately, she could only watch the video once. But based on that, I assume it's not an average. She then quoted her conversation with Demetrius verbatim. Demetrius said, the player who is playing in the video was already at a higher level, so the Isle of Armor followed that. Casey asked, hypothetically, if I start the Isle of Armor with a team of mostly level 100 Pokemon, then the Pokemon on the Isle of Armor would also be level 100? Demetrius said, yes. From the understanding that we know so far, that yes, it's a tailored experience when it comes to your leveling, that is correct. He also specifically said, for example, you start the Isle of Armor at level 15, the Isle would scale to that level as well. He didn't specifically say it scales to the highest level Pokemon in your party, but rather, that's what Casey saw. But there may be other factors at play that she didn't see, and that they couldn't tell her about. That is a lot of information that immediately clears that up. Me hesitant in saying you're gonna find level 100 Pokemon, which has never happened before except for extremely rare Magikarp instances. Yes, they would be level 100. I mean, I'm still gonna really go with it's gonna be a range of Pokemon, not just everyone's gonna be level 100. I also asked Casey if I was allowed to quote our conversation, and she said yes, so thank you for that, Casey, from IGN. I really have in mind the wild Pokemon. Know what I mean? Like, I'm not really focusing on the trainer Pokemon in my thought process. I'm thinking about the wild Pokemon. And if all your Pokemon are level 100, you're gonna find between level 80 to 100. That's what I perceive that they're gonna do. It makes the most sense. Now, the weird part is, you know the rare overworld spawns? Like, soon as you enter the wild area for the first time, there's that Onix, there's the Steelix, the Corviknight, the Clefable, the Snorlax, so on and so forth. Those Pokemon have predetermined stats. Their level, their IVs, their EVs, their gender, everything about them is predetermined and written in the game's code. At no point that you get in your game progression does that change. I mean, there is one change that, you know, it brings them up to level 60 in the post game unless they're programmed to be higher than level 60. It just raises the question on, like, are they completely changing that around for, you know, the bird Pokemon that was in the tree, so on and so forth like that. There's just a lot of information that we don't know and a lot of things to be excited about. It sounds like for the first time ever, if you want to play an actual Pokemon game made by Pokemon, that you and the opponents and the wild Pokemon are going to be level 100, now's your opportunity, which sounds amazing. Also in Pokemon Sword and Shield right now, you can get a mystery gift via the internet, and you're going to get your 4th hidden ability Galarian Pokemon, which is going to be Meowth, which per Circa has a really dope hidden ability. And there's also a mystery gift that gets you 50 big nuggets and 1,000 large candies. 50 big nuggets is a ridiculously large amount of money, and 100 large candies might be enough to get a Pokemon to level 100. So now seems like a great time more than ever to pick, you know, a team of 6 Pokemon, get them all up to level 100, and get ready for Isle of Armor. You could have, I mean, maybe not, you know, do the legendaries, but, you know, build a fun and diverse team, maybe from the Pokemon that you've been shiny hunting with, or just straight up do 3 starters, all close to level 100, And of course, Galarian Slowpoke, because why not? Although this one's level 1. But yeah, it seems like the opportunities are endless right now. And more importantly, your adventure is whatever you want it to be, which sounds like the best possible thing. Instead of them saying you have to be in this situation, it's going to scale to you, and that's great. I'm going to keep you guys updated on this, as well as a lot of content for Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out. What's going on, everyone? Austin John Plays here, and today it's going to be time for the trailer analysis for the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC Part 1 and 2. We had 3 videos today. Why not a 4th? So now that we've gone into all of the articles pertaining to Pokemon DLC Part 1 and Part 2, we could be better informed going into this trailer analysis. If you have not seen those articles, I do recommend checking it out. It's going to be linked at the card appearing right about here. In addition, I'm probably going to have it linked at the end if I remember to do that. Firstly, the trailer begins with a Galarian Slowbro that to date we still do not know exactly how Slowpoke is going to evolve into Slowbro. However, we do know that it's going to be an item that is exclusive to Part 1 of the DLC. And Part 2 of the DLC is going to have a different item that will evolve it into Galarian Slowking. We then see the trainer in a stock skin making his way to the dojo. Then we're treated to the main character wearing the clothing from DLC Part 2 heading to the large tree that we're led to believe is where the legendary Galarian birds are going to be located at. We then get our first look at the trainer after acquiring the dojo equipment walking through the wild area. And the first thing to notice is that there is a lot more vegetation going on. The trees look so much better than the trees in the regular wild area. In addition, we have a variety of different flowers, different types of grass, and small rocks that help break up the monotony of just everything looks exactly the same for the wild area, which is amazing. Also, in the distance, we can see a small island off to the side, which we currently do not see a Radiant beam coming out of, but presumably with the Rotom bike, we would be able to explore over there and the ocean surrounding the main area. Just past the tree, we do see one of the 2 gyms that you're going to be able to train Urshifu at to determine one of its 2 evolutions. Next, we're treated to the player on the Rotom bike in an area that we could presume is going to be DLC Part 2. And something unique, we now see Ice-Q, believe that's how you say his name, just kind of floating in the water, which is pretty awesome because we did have, you know, areas with ice chunks in the water, but we didn't see any ice type Pokemon in them. But now it's a lot more, you know, makes a lot more sense. Next, we get a screenshot of Peony, which is the gentleman who is part of DLC Part 2. And we can notice on his wrist, he has a very, very interesting what could be Dynamax band. We're then treated to Absol in a field and a variety of other Pokemon in the wild areas. Well, I guess they're not wild areas anymore because that's just what the area is in the DLC. I'm not going to be going over the list of all the Pokemon that are going to be visible. We then get our first look at Rapid Style Urshifu's signature move, Surging Strikes, in which there's going to be 3 water attacks that come out, and the water attacks are going to have guaranteed critical hits and ignore the target's stat changes. It is not clear at this time if it's going to be 3 individual hits or if the 3 individual hits are just part of 1 hit. However, we can see in the background for this battle area, we have a much more detailed area. We do have the same flowers and trees returning that we saw while exploring the DLC Part 1, in addition to this nice lake over here in the back. I think it's a really nice change of pace of the very generic environments that we were battling in the vanilla game. We then get only a few frames of seeing Single Strike Urshifu's signature move, Wicked Blow, which is somewhat similar to the animation of Darkest Lariat. However, at the end, you see him rush toward the camera. From then on out, we see a Max Raid Den of Giratina, which originally I thought was G-Max Urshifu. As the comment section was so polite to point out, during a reaction trailer, I don't correct myself. Instead, it's just immediate reactions and things that I think that I see. And this analysis is so that we can see, you know, what actually is here. But I have to say, Giratina looks pretty majestic in a max raid den. We then see the player leave a train station, which we can believe that that's how we're going to be accessing the Isle of Armor via the train system. It's still not clear how late in the game you have to progress in order to make your way here. In the Wedgehurst station, when you meet your new rival for this area, for Pokemon Sword being Clara and for Pokemon Shield being Avery, that happens somewhat early in the game, but that may just be a tease at this, or what I think would be really awesome is soon as that whole cutscene happens, you're going to be able to come here to the wild area, in which case you can make a new profile, get a starter, progress maybe 2, 3, 4 hours tops into the game, and then come here with a fresh low-level team with no items. The camera then zooms out of the player walking from the train station, and we can see Avery, so this is Pokemon Shield, to greet us as soon as we get off of the train. We then get a slow fade to an overarching look of the dojo, and in the background we see the 2 different towers that we can train our Kubfu at. Yes, this is the Japanese trailer. We see several returning Pokemon, Tauros and Scyther. I am a little disappointed in the hill textures, that they're just still this generic gray rock, which doesn't seem like the grass is still exactly the same, but the short grass looks a lot more developed. These might be the same trees from the wild area, the same single stalk trees. We do have the flowers to break things up, which is nice. These don't look like wild encounter flowers. It's just, you know, on the ground for show. But just, I don't know, the hills look like they could be updated in texture quite a bit. We then see one of the cave environments that we've been teased on previously, where we could see Exploud over here hanging out. And this guy, which I'm not going to try to say his name because I'm going to say it wrong, and Whismur. We also see a Woobat hiding off to the side. We see a large sandstorm area, or perhaps the entire island of the DLC is going to have a dynamic weather system. We still do not have that confirmed, whether or not it's going to be linked to your actual date, like the main wild area is, or if certain areas are going to be fixed to different weather conditions. I personally believe that the dynamic system would add a lot more variance to the Pokemon in the entire DLC. Also, something clear that they're doing is they're showing us Pokemon that we already can obtain and new Pokemon. So here we see Oranguru and a Tangrowth. This is the first time we've seen 3D model of Tangrowth on the Nintendo Switch, and it is a bulky boy, that's for sure. This is the forest area that we've heard very little about, which I'm interested to see more of. Few Cantonian Executors over here, which is weird because this seems like a tropical island where Alolan Executors would be very comfortable with. Or perhaps because Scotland is much further away from the equator than Hawaii is, you know, it wouldn't be canon for these Executors to have those long necks. We're then treated to a bog scene, which we've heard nothing about the bog other than the word that there's going to be a bog, where we see a couple of Poliwhirls hanging out, and there's a Politoed in the background, which is really neat, being able to encounter wild Pokemon that normally require an item. Always a fan of that. Oh, there's that original tree texture. Yep, tree textures have not been updated. Although I do like the multi-stem trees. I think those are really nice. This is a different angle from what we saw before when the trainer was leaving the dojo on the way to a tower. And when I was talking about the islands in the distance, these are those islands. We have these small sand dunes over here, and we can see a Wailord in the background, where Wailord's supposed to be in the ocean. Very nice. My question is, how far or how much of this ocean area are we going to be able to explore, and is there a reason to? Or is there just going to be a few random items dotted around? We can see a Kangaskhan just chilling out here, and a Bouffalant, Lycanroc, and Omoga. This Omoga encounter seems to be in part of the forest area that we saw very small amount of. That thing. Okay, this is going to be sort of a guess/presumption here, that this is the area where you leave the train station, where your rival is going to be greeting you, and we see 3 Galarian Slowpokes actually running pretty fast, kicking up a lot of dirt behind them. And because we have all this dirt animation and 3 of them running together, we can presume that this is part of the actual story. And as soon as we get off of the train, it's not like we're immediately at the dojo, and there's going to be a little bit of the wild area for us to explore before we get to the actual story. We get our first look at what's it called again? The Cramobot? Here we get our first look at the Cram-O-Matic, which if you did not see my previous videos, the Cram-O-Matic allows you to feed it 4 items It will then combine it and give you a new item in exchange. You can receive a variety of items including Pokeballs, PP ups, and more. Quote, some combinations may produce rare items, end quote. This could be a way for us to get ourselves more, I believe they're called Dream Balls, the specialty Pokeballs that previously Ball Guy gave you, because we do know that Apricorns are confirmed. We have not seen it in the trailer as of yet. We then have this character who we do not know yet, and she is making something called Max Soup. Max Soup is a special dish made from rare ingredients you gather around the Island of Armor. If a Pokemon with great hidden potential drinks Max Soup, it will become a special Pokemon capable of Gigantamaxing. At this time, we do have confirmed that the final forms of your Galarian starter will be able to get the Gigantamax trait. It's not clear if it has to be the one that you received as, you know, your starting partner Pokemon, or if it's any Inteleon, Rillaboom, Cinderace that you want. In addition, we do not have confirmation if any of the other Pokemon on your party are going to be able to drink the Max Soup and gain the Gigantamax trait. However, because this is cooked on a stovetop inside of a house, we can presume that this is part of the story. Possibly after this point, you'll then be able to gather the same ingredients and cook it at your own camp. We do not know yet. Which then we're treated to our main character, our rival, and a whole bunch of people from the dojo sitting here about to have the Max Soup. And now that we're further zoomed out, it's clear that this is inside of the dojo, possibly where we get Kubfu, or one of the two towers. I'm gonna go with the original dojo where we get Kubfu. We can then see our main character meeting Mustard, possibly for the first time, or later on because our character is already wearing the dojo equipment. We can see a Scrafty just chilling over here and a couple of youngsters. Here's our rival spinning around doing some fun stuff. Our other rival just standing there with glasses. At this point, our rival with a Dynamax Pokeball. They then throw it off to the side, and we can see our rival with a Dynamax Galarian Slowbro. Inside of the original dojo, we can see the same woman who is cooking up the Gmax Soup before. She has a Bulbasaur and a Squirtle here. Now, this does seem to be one of those points that you get to choose if you want one of the two Pokemon. And then we can see the trainer in two different games standing in front of Gigantamax Blastoise and Gigantamax Venusaur. I'm gonna still go with you get to pick one of the two. Possibly there's a way to get the other one, or they may appear in Max Raid dens. Okay, I'm gonna hate this sentence, but we now see Gmax Venusaur use his Gmax move, Gmax Vine Lash, which it's just two vines that come down, and is that a Choodle? That Choodle is not gonna do well. It appears this is in a Max Raid den as well. We then see Gmax Blastoise use his signature Gmax move, Gmax Cannonade, which is a cannon lemonade. What's weird though is even though he has 31 cannons, Cannonade only uses 12 of the cannons on its back. We're then treated to more of the story, possibly as soon as we start off, because we see our trainer in regular clothing and our rival in front of us, and we see Kubfu hanging out at the top of the dojo. Kubfu then jumps off of the dojo roof, lands to the center. Now, it's unclear if this area with this blue and green floor is inside of the dojo itself or possibly a courtyard, since Kubfu is seen jumping off and then landing here. It could be two different scenes spliced together, or it could be an outdoor gathering area, possibly for sparring. We then see the trainer in the yellow dojo clothing going out into the wild area and taking on a wild Tauros. We get to cook curry with him. He seems to enjoy it. Now we get to see the trainer heading toward the Rapid Style Tower, and we can see Staryu on the right side, and then at the bottom left we see Starmie just kind of hanging out here slightly off camera, and the trainer is just running over to the tower. In the next frame we see the trainer heading toward what we could presume to be this Single Strike Tower, which appears to be at the top of a mountain. We're then treated to Kubfu hitting a Poliwhirl, taking on many more dojo trainers. This one's a Scrafty. Kubfu seems very happy about something. And then we get to see Kubfu's evolution into Single Strike Urshifu on the left and Rapid Style Urshifu on the right. And these are their Gigantamax forms. On the left side, we have the Rapid Strike Style Urshifu, which is fighting water. And on the right side, we have this Single Strike Urshifu, which is fighting dark. At the top, we then see Single Strike Urshifu use his move Gmax One Blow, and at the bottom, Rapid Style Urshifu using his move Gmax Rapid Flow. which they're cropped pretty hard, so we don't get to see what it is too well. And then it fades to white, and then we're treated to teasers of DLC Part 2, the Crown Tundra, which most of the Crown Tundra seems to be like it's snowing. So I don't know if we're going to have the same dynamic weather system that we had before, or possibly we will have a dynamic weather system, but it's going to be locked to certain types. Like we won't have intense sun because everything is, you know, covered in snow and such. Also, not crazy about these trees. I mean, I do like that they're different. They're obviously cedar trees, which you think the trunk would be much wider for cedar trees, but the texture is not fantastic, and these thin textures of leaves, I don't know, not doing it for me. We then see one small cottage in the middle of the woods. This could be Peony's home, where he's, you know, actively studying the area and adventuring with his daughter. And something just off camera and very easy to miss, we see what we can presume is that large pink tree, but now the top is covered in snow, and it does appear to have these large circular items on there. These could be berries, and at the top we have this large, flowy, sort of curvy looking tail. Just based on the color and the curviness of alone, this kind of does remind me of what we're going to be seeing of Galarian Moltres a little bit later. We're then treated to, as I like to call him, Triforce Deer. This is Calyrex, the legendary Pokemon of the Crown Tundra. And we're treated to our first scene of the player running through a white birch forest, where we have a couple of frost moths just kind of chilling on the ground. Here is the same area where we saw the ice cues in the water much earlier in the trainer. However, now we have a Wilmer and a Lapras hanging out here, and we have a small beach over here leading to a single tree, a Raid Den beam in the background, and all of it is overlooking that giant tree in the back. Here we see the large red tree, which we still do not know the name of it, where we have seen animations of the legendary Galarian birds hanging out. And this area seems to be an old abandoned church, right at the base of the large tree that's overarching in many of the scenes that we have seen. And we're treated to the title screen. We then get to see one of the, what could be a Reggie Tower, and then we see a second Reggie Shrine and a third Reggie Shrine. These three shrines could represent the three Reggies that we already know of. Then we see the player inside one of the shrines running around to these large illuminated structures on the floor. This could be part of a puzzle for us to activate to battle one of the Reggies, and we see battles of Regirock, Ice, and Steel. During the battle with Registeel, the player throws out a Relicanth. It might have something to do with the puzzle, or it could just be a callback to originally how you used to get the Reggies in 3rd gen. Here we see that center area and the large pink tree in a much clearer weather condition, which is nice. So this could be letting us know that there are clear weather conditions. We do see the large abandoned tree in the background where that house or abandoned church was previously located, and the big old pink tree here, which we do see that the top just kind of is always white even when there are not snowy conditions, and that weird tail looking thing at the top. This area that we've never seen before, which seems to be some ruins inside of a slightly wooded area, and our first scene of our player running through the area somewhat toward the tree. A small graveyard looking area with a max raid den, a luscious green plain area still overlooking that big old pink tree. The player on a very customized Rotom bike. This is a white bike with pink accents. It's looking real nice. Once again, going through that white birch forest. Right, we can see some Snoms chilling on the ground. This may be our first look toward Dynamax Adventures. Dynamax Adventures is basically the same idea as doing a max raid battle in a max raid den. However, there's much more involved in it. You and up to 3 trainers go into and venture into Pokemon dens, and you run into Dynamax Pokemon. If you do encounter the Dynamax Pokemon during your exploration, you need to work together with your teammates in a max raid battle. Here we see the 4 adventurers going into a den for a max raid battle against Mewtwo, the Gen 1 legendary, then transitioning into the Gen 2 legendaries, Ho-Oh and Lugia, the Gen 3 legendaries, Kyogre and Groudon, the Gen 4 legendaries, the Gen 5 legendaries, the Gen 6, and the Gen 7. One thing that I did notice during these battles is that your character, as seen right here, is in the new adventurer clothing. However, these 3 random NPCs that we've seen in regular max raid battles are not in the adventurer clothing. So it is possible that we have the same garbage companions with Solrock using cosmic power helping you in these max raid dens. Yay. Magikarp use Hydro Pump. We then see this split ruin. The previous 3 ruins were for the 3 known Regis, and this is going to be for the 2 new Regis, the Electric and the Dragon. Here is Regieleki using its signature move, something Electric Cage, still against the Relicanth, and Regidrago. After that, we're treated to very, very short scenes of Galarian Moltres, Galarian Zapdos. We then get to see a cutscene of the 3 legendary birds from Kanto in their Galarian forms. Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres hanging out here doing a super cutscene of them fighting each other. It's unclear on why they are fighting each other, and it's unclear on how exactly we are going to be encountering them, as opposed to the previous legendaries that we saw either in ruins or max raid battles. These 3 just kind of seem to be out in the open. Could they be wandering again, like they were in X and Y? Or could they be tied into the story? Could this be somehow affected with Calyrex? Which immediately then transitions to Calyrex. So maybe that's foreshadowing that it is involving Calyrex. Then we get to the final act of the trailer, which is a quick summary of everything that we have seen and things that we have not seen but have already learned about. Our rivals, the new companions. We then get to see the character back in Winden in its regular clothing. And this is the Galarian Star Tournament. After you progress far enough in your adventure in the Crown Tundra, you'll be able to participate in the Galarian Star Tournament, held in the city of Winden. In this tournament, you'll battle with various trainers you met in Pokemon Sword and Shield. You team up with them with a team of 2 against a team of 2, and each team is comprised of 2 different people, so you control only one of the Pokemon. Here you are with Hau and his Dubwool. It's not Hau, it's Hop, isn't it? We see a Magmar and several other returning Pokemon in here, such as Kingdra, Magnezone, and then the trailer ends with a splash screen. And then it just goes into detail on how much it costs and when it's available and the pre-order bonus and stuff like that. Well, there we go. That was the most in-depth we could possibly be on this trailer analysis. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed going through every single thing in this trailer frame by frame with me. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. Until next time, Austin John out.
Pokemon Meme Review.
Leave your entries in the subreddit PokeFans. And now watch submissions in the next episode as PewDiePie.
Greetings, Pokefans! Michael here, and welcome to the newest episode of Ask PewDiePie. At some point in the past, I asked you. My ongoing monthly series where I record myself looking at my subreddit, r/MNJTV, linked in the description below, and react to the submissions that you guys have put there. And since most of the submissions are memes, the alternate name for this series, and the play is cross-platform, so you'll face off against the same people no matter what device they're using. And if you have Amazon Prime, you can log into the game with your Prime account before February 9th to get some amazing items. So go download Raid Shadow Legends using the link in the description below, and if you're a new player, you will instantly get a lot of stuff: 100,000 silver, 2 clan boss keys, 10 mystery shards, and a free champion called Adjudicator. But act fast, you only have 30 days. I feel like I always have something else to say in the intro, and I've just got nothing, so I guess we'll just dive into the memes. Here we are on r/MNJTV, sorted by top in the past month. That's how I always do these meme review sortings. And the first thing, this needs to change. This description. Let's change that right now to Pokemon clap meme review. Accuracy. Let's make Michael see this. Gigantamax Crobat. I'm a fan. I enjoy it. I like how happy he is, you know? It's like, none of the Zubat family looks happy, and then this one's just like, what's up? I'm a city-looking thing now. Not a meme, but how do you like my drawing? If that is actually your drawing,
because there's always the possibility that art has been stolen and reposted. So I'll just say, the original artist, that's pretty cool. Good work. This is so sad. Alexa, play Despacito. It's a good thing. I haven't actually set up my Amazon Echoes since we moved months ago. So otherwise, I would have had to deal with a copyright music problem, because then she would have started playing Despacito. Oh, yeah, I saw this on Twitter the other day. I thought it was funny. So Urshifu, that form of Urshifu is Tai Chi, which like has to do with the flowing movements of water. Waterbending in the Avatar show is actually based on Tai Chi. But yeah, I feel like Grapplockt could have been a water type, you know? It's like, oh, just because it's based on an aquatic animal, it doesn't need to be a water type because of that. And then its Dex entry talks about how it comes out of the ocean to fight people and then returns to the ocean. That seems kind of like water to me. I was going to McDonald's and I found some shiny fries. Wow, okay, that is weird. I don't think I've seen that before. KFC, spicy KFC, ultra hot premium limited edition KFC. Wrong edition, but yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that. It's fun to stay at the, oh, this is a classic meme. Yeah, I've seen this before. How would Phalanx wear pants? This is the most important decision ever. I would say it's either the first one or the second one, and it depends on how much money they have for in their pants budget. Cub Fu, Cub Blue, Cub Chew, Cub Drew, Cub Flu, over 1,000 Matsuda Method eggs with nothing. Okay, I feel bad. I'm not gonna downvote it, but I'm certainly not upvoting it. That's pretty good. It's so true. So many of the attacking toys look like they would just decimate. I love Whimsicott's face too. That's pretty great. Sorry for the bad quality. Dude, did you like download this image and re-upload it at half the resolution like 6 times? What is this? I get the apology is necessary. Me peeling potatoes, my mom peeling potatoes. Wow, that's actually really true. Wow. That would be something if that happened. Goodness. Snom art. Snom of the bow, Snom of the hat, party Snom, Snommy rabbit, silent Snom killer, Snombish, Snom? Oh, snobbish, Snob, okay. Snomic the hedgehog. Gangsta Snom, Mariachi Snom. That one's just dead. Oh no, the Snom has a gun. Snom. I had to learn what that meant recently. Snobby Wan Kenobi. Snomos. Inverted Scribble Snom. Snomehameha. That's pretty good. Normal Michael. Alolan Michael. Galarian Michael. Yes, I've got my gamer goggles. I no longer have the bubble wrap armor because I used it to ship something. So Galarian Michael is a rare species. You know, I've never played Halo. I mean, I played it briefly at like friend's house, but I've never owned a Halo game. But I still understand that that's Halo, so you know, good for them. Hold on. You find a shiny Gigantamax Pokemon, you enter the den, Martin and his Solrock show up. Martin and his Solrock show up, you use Taunt on Solrock. Oh my god. I have never considered bringing a Pokemon with Taunt and taunting the NPC Pokemon so they always attack. I mean, the efficiency of that probably decreases with the number of NPCs you have, because then that's a turn that you're not attacking, but holy crap! Some say Charmander is the best, some say it's Squirtle, but deep down we all know that all Pokemon are deserving of love no matter their appearance or abilities. Actually, according to my 4 other appendages, to play the drums by yourself because you apparently couldn't do that anyways, but still just have drums. Lugia and Yveltal? Ooh. Those work well together. Similar body types. I'm Bulbasaur, and this is Squirtle. Oh, that's pretty sweet, recreating that in Mystery Dungeon. You know, years ago, I got Super Mystery Dungeon, and I was like, oh, I want to record, like, myself playing as Bulbasaur and Squirtle. Like, I'm Bulbasaur and my like sidekick is Squirtle. And I hated the game so much, I was like, screw this, I'm never making a Mystery Dungeon Pokemon talk like I thought I would. So, yeah, cool that you did. I don't need to do it. Why are you so excited for the Shiny Magikarp raid? It's only an event, it's not really rare or something. A shiny is a shiny! That is correct. Unless it's hacked. Hacked shinies are not shinies. Nobody cares about those. This is a 5-star Gigantamax raid battle, correct? Yup. And they have 2 shields that break when you attack them enough. Yup. And they eliminate all stat changes in battle. Makes sense to me. So then use an attacking move. Cosmic Power, followed by Rock Polish. Solrock is the second worst, behind Wobbuffet. How to adopt a drawing? Oh my god, that thing's adorable. Mayo Must, Mayo Q, Mayo Chup, and then it clicked. That's so sad. Oh man, this is an ancient meme. This was dug up from the Temple of Time memes deep within the Earth's crust. I couldn't help myself, I'm sorry. You did not make this meme. I saw this when Mega Rayquaza came out like 5 years ago. This is an ancient meme. Okay, that's pretty cool. I love the mask. The mask is super sick. Manga, anime, Netflix adaptation, dear God. Hydro Pump, Magikarp. Yep, nope, good metaphor. Nobody, my brain when taking a test. Okay, so basically I'm very small. My brain. Michael, when he got his hands on the Sword and Shield Pokedex book, the sacred texts! Yes, somebody understood the reference. When you constantly see posts that are breaking the sub rules, why can't you all just behave yourselves? Behave yourselves. I'd love to see this meme format take hold outside of just Pokemon meme review. But I don't think it's gonna work because I feel like most people have no idea where that clip is even from. Depression exists, Snaman Wooloo. I'm about to end this man's whole career. Aw. Aren't you cold? I haven't worn a coat since I was 5 years old. Oh, that's pretty good. All of Jubilee's compliments. Trish claiming him as the most attractive PokeTuber. What? I appreciate Jubilee's compliments, but there's a difference, okay? There's a difference between the love of your life telling you that they think you're attractive, which is wonderful and amazing, and it feels great, and being ranked in a public video that thousands of people have seen, like just being ranked by strangers as the #1. Like that's like a, ha! Look at me. I am found attractive by people other person who loves me the most. So like, you know, I appreciate both, but one of them makes more sense to brag about. This is another meme dug up from the Temple of Time memes. Your Pokemon seems surprised to touch ice, but you're made of ice. Well, if you walked into a cave made of human flesh, you would be surprised too. Yes, I think I genuinely saw this in high school. I mean, I graduated high school 7 years ago. Aw. What a lovely drawing, that's also really sad. When a teacher sees kids chewing gum, when a teacher sees kids getting bullied. When I left Wedgehurst versus how I came back after defeating Leon. I can't believe that random Aspinapai intro that I like came up with just on the, well, okay, all of them are come up with on the spot, but like the shout out to me for turning bubble wrap armor into a meme. Nobody, Cubone, when its mother dies, bone! Brooklyn Nine-Nine references are a surefire way to get me to enjoy a meme. I can't wait for the next season. I am Appleton, I have an apple gun. You better apple run, good lord. I like how the gun has a hat though. My Pokemon when paralyzed, opponent's Pokemon when paralyzed, ugh. So true, so true. When you see this face, you know the intro will be no more. Yep, that's fair. Although, You kind of, my camera's flipped. You kind of find it real quick. Oh, here it is. It's, they just have the one art. That's all they have. Like they have like, here's Flapple's box and here's Appleton's box, and they just use, they are literally completely identical. Could have done something different. I don't know. Maybe have one different apple pattern. Something. Antarctica, general, minus 14 degrees. You guys are babies. It's not that cold. I haven't worn a coat since I was 5 years old. Hops, Score Bunny, my Sobble. Who would win, some Gigantamax Blastoise or the creator of Dynamax? Oh, we know. It would be Squirtle, obviously. Press F for those poor Pokemons. I mean, I think they're fine. They're in their Pokeballs. It's like, oh wait, this is a video. Oh wow, he's really shaking them, goodness. Jostling them around. That guy's face over on the side. Can we just, like, I think it's kind of funny that the Pokemon world, there are just some people with just psychic powers and no one acknowledges that as weird. I wish this was real. You think Gigantamax Glaceon should just be Glaceon turned into a furry, wearing clothes? And wielding a sword? I mean, it doesn't look bad, like it's cool art, but you wish it was real in the games? No, that would never make sense. Could you imagine how the fan base would react if that was announced? Twitter would actually explode. Like, more so than before. So I got turned into a Pokemon, the first friend I made is now asking this. Is murder okay? Excuse me? Ho-Oh is just a recolor of Fearow? No. Ho-Oh's spiky thing is curly. And his beak's different. Other than that, yeah, fair enough. Manga, anime, Netflix adaptation. Yes, we are officially referring to Urshifu exclusively as Kung Fu Panda now. Just don't nickname yours in the game. Everybody will have thought of that. Just don't do that. And don't make your jersey numbers 420 or 69. It's probably too late for too many of you, but just, everyone's thought of it. If you think of something, and then you realize that everyone's thought of it, don't do it. What if you wanted to do a max raid battle, but Martin Solrock used rock polish? You fiend! When they lose in older Pokemon games, terribly upset. Rivals when they lose in newer Pokemon games. Oh, this is fine, it was a great battle. Or the original science teacher. So the original science teacher. Photosynthesis. Oh, how the meme lives on. Getting big DLC for half the price of a new game. Buying the same game twice. Yeah. Yeah. You think I Spit a Pie is original content? That's right. All right, they're similar, I can't deny, but I had never heard of them. It was original. All me. No one has ever made Pokemon. Meme review. Darth Maul is dark fighting. Darth Maul Alola form. All right, I like that one. Let me in, you can't close because oh yeah, so true. They have to improve the refresh rate on that feed. Very cool fan art of the starter, Hoenn starters, their different types. I'm not sure what's happening with Swampert. Like, what are its fins supposed to be? I don't know. And Blaziken's, like, bubbles just look kind of funny. Sceptile looks sick, though. Sceptile, that whole line, definitely the best looking of these, all of these. Today, we learned Spanish. Me, after having watched Pokemon Talk episode 12 the day before, the expert is Dragonite. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Pokemon Meme Review. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to my patrons over on Patreon who are helping support the channel in a way independent of fluctuating YouTube ad revenue. If you wanna sign up and get some cool perks in exchange, like videos early and with no ads, the link is in the description below. Also, if you want to check out some more of my fun Pokemon content, I recommend this video here, and don't forget to check out Raid Shadow Legends. Thanks again to them for sponsoring. All right, that's all I have for now, so till next time, Pokey fans. Gotta catch them all. At some point in the past, I asked you,
my ongoing monthly YouTube series where I react to submissions on my subreddit, r/MNJTV, linked in the description below. And since most of those submissions are memes, the alternate name for this series is Pokemon Meme Review. I don't really have any other intro stuff to say, so let's go ahead and dive in to the memes. Here we are on r/MNJTV, and I'm not wearing my gamer goggles. There we go. Must ensure that I can see all of the memes in the proper highest definition. All right, so we're gonna sort by top in the last month. And before we get started, there are a few types of memes I hope to see. One, I wanna see Metronome Battle Federation memes. That has been so fun. If you are not watching that on my second channel, make sure you do that. Metronome Draft League, it's crazy fun. Second, I want to see memes about me hitting 1 million subscribers. This is the first meme review since I hit 1 million subscribers. I'm actually a big deal now, so must be acknowledged. And three, I don't have a third. I don't know why I said there were three things. So the top post is Quillapple. I hate to break it to you, fam, that is a Typhlosion. Quillava has 2 flame spots, one on his head, one on his butt. This is on his neck. That is a Typhlosion. That sounds like it's a flapple Typhlosion. Anyways, very fun little thing, but terrible title. We did it. There we go. Right away. Okay, good. The acknowledgement of the 1 million subscribers is there. Everything is great. The rarest things in Pokemon: the Master Ball, Shiny Pokemon, Shiny Gigantamax Pokemon, Mirage Island, Pikachu Illustrator card, joining a Max Raid battle. True. Preach. What if starters fully evolved but stayed small and cute? This art has been around since the dawn of the internet. It's been great then, it's great now, but I've seen it many a time. When your mom finally finishes talking to her friend at the store. Throwback. Congratulations on Jake Paul getting 5 million in 6 months. Michael getting 1 million in 10 years. That kind of hurts a little bit. Like, I mean, it's nice. Obviously, it's intending to be nice, but it's like, damn. Jake Paul got 5 million in 6 months. Took me 10 years to get 1. What have I been doing wrong? I know I haven't been doing things wrong. Things are great. I'm very happy. Leon Logic. Where are you? I effed up. How? I went to Hoenn, not Hammerlock. Just tell me you don't love me. Actually, in Hoenn, what the? And they told me I couldn't do that. There was an attempt, okay guys? I tried to acknowledge that it's a meme, and they said no. So, blame them for that. Me, does super effective move. Hop, I diagnose you with smart. Okay, that's kind of funny. That is cool, yeah. I would use that gloriously in battle. Is that a Gigantamax Primarina? Oh, singing on the mountain. That's kind of fun, I like that. Cast Form has shiny for all forms now. Michael, yes! Oh, I remember now. Okay, remember earlier I was like, oh, there's 3 things that I want to see memes about. And I brain farted on the third. The third was the new shiny Cast forms for the different weather forms. Something they've not had. Cast Form hasn't had it for years since it was introduced until now. And I'm extremely excited about it because I love Cast Form, it's deserved this. And the shinies look great, especially the Hail Form one, which is my channel colors. Can I get a hail yeah? I'm still waiting. I'm going to assume you all did it in unison. The regional variants of Professor Oak, Cantonian, Alolan, Galarian. Yeah, accurate. Me walking up the stairs in public. Me walking up the stairs and oh, that's so true. I did that at, my current house doesn't have stairs, but my previous one did have stairs, and I would still do it regularly as an adult. You know, if you're not using all 4s when going up the stairs at home, you're doing something wrong. We have you 6-1. I like those odds. Oh, that's so true. Oh my gosh, great meme. We did it. We time traveled, but to what year? Let me ask that guy over there. Do you like Diamond and Pearl? Which one, the original or the remake? We are in heaven. Oh, so good. It shouldn't be long. They're the next in line. I'd say within the next 2 or 3 years. That's very cute, hydrate or die. A phrase that I've said for many years. Oops, haven't said it recently, but it appears someone else thought of it, which is good because everyone should hydrate or die. All right, it's finally time to get my fat off the ground and start doing some exercise for once. Humph. Phew, that was hard work. I need to lay off those orange berries. Now it's time to stand up. Humph. Yes, I finally did it after all these years. Nothing can stop me now, except becoming a road. He has no gun. Intellion. Oh, but I do. Look, the Americans are asleep. Let's post pictures about free healthcare. Why is America bad? Making Snum as different Disney characters until Michael gets 2 million snubs. Snubs. I was thinking about Snum, so I said snubs. I know snub is a word, you know, like an Oscar nomination snub, like, you know, for example, but just in the context of Snom and sub, yes, I need 2 million snub faints in a max raid battle. It's Martin Solrock, yeah. Oh, this is, wow, the exact same meme format twice. Eevee was the most popular normal type. Miltank was runner-up. What? According to what? That is no, there's, according to what? This is the results of Pokemon of the Year? We don't have those results yet. At least at the time of filming this. If we do, I've missed something. But to my knowledge, the Pokemon of the Year results aren't gonna be released until like the 27th, which as of, if you're watching this video on the day it came out, that was yesterday, but I'm filming this on the 26th, so. I refuse to trust this. Eternatus has a boss battle. Eternatus when you catch it. Yeah, a Squirtle not interrupting the intro. Bulbasaur, Raichu. Yes, yes, do it. Yes, then I can come into the show. 2 types of headaches, migraine, hypertension, stress. When you false swipe a wild shiny Pokemon in Hail. Oh no. That reminds me, I've started playing a bit of Coliseum because I wanna, you know, transfer some Pokemon all the way from Coliseum to Sword and Shield, because that would be really cool. Might make a video about doing that. And I'm playing through it and I'm reminded just how brutal that game is, because it is so difficult to try and catch a Pokemon at the same time as it is hurting itself. Because the only Shadow move in Coliseum is Shadow Rush, which does 1/16 max HP recoil every time it lands. And so that's like, holy crap, like literally every Pokemon you're trying to catch has a recoil move, so you can't false swipe them. So that's, oh man, it's a hard game. Snorlax, Porlax, Chorlax, Dorlax, Forlax. What the F happened to the Florlax? I saw this in a gym. Huh, I wonder if that's an intentional reference to me. I'm going to choose to decide that it is. What? A shiny Minccino in the opening scene for Black? Is that possible? Or is that edited? No one is saying in the comments that that's like hacked. Wow, if that's actually possible, I'd have to do the research to see if that's possible. If it is, I didn't know that. That's crazy. Oh, well, that's fun. Or blue shinies. 3 of them were birds. Snorunt is not a bird, but it's triangular, therefore it is just a beak. Me sees a cool meme, also me. Sees that it says upvote so Mikey can see. Yeah, preach, that's an annoying title. Catching Reshiram in a Master Ball because it's easier. Catching Reshiram in the Premier Ball for the color coordination. Ooh. Wow, did they edit this Reshiram to have red eyes? Reshiram does not normally have red eyes. It has red eyes if it's shiny. Well, I guess when it lights up. When it lights up and like the Turbo Blaze turns red. Okay, yeah, so that's fair. Not now, I'm busy. Oh God, what are you even good for? I can walk. That's true, for it can walk. Oh wow, that's great. So many Diglets. A shiny stop sign. Catch it immediately. 5-year-old me when I go up the stairs 2 at a time. My middle name is Danger. I still do that to this day. I almost always go up the stairs 2 at a time. Michael's intro, YouTube captions. I do caption my videos. I get my videos like professionally captioned, but sometimes it like takes a while for the site that I use to finish them. So at least on the main channel, I try to have captions up when the video Like, oh, you're approaching me? Things. Pass each other in the hallway. My God, he's getting even more bored. He's doing all of this. What is he thinking? What is he analyzing? Something for 5 more minutes. Then cuts to the other guy. He has no idea what I'm plotting. He's thinking this and I'm thinking that, and there's nothing he can do to stop me. For 5 more minutes, and it's like, Jesus Christ, just do things. Steel fire, electric. Yeah, I've seen that meme before, but it's still true. You, the guy she tells you not to worry about. Yeah, I have that image saved in my phone. My reaction memes folder for the, it's not really a reaction meme, but it needed to be preserved. How I see cast form, how haters see cast form, how Australian people see cast form, how Galar people see cast form, yeah. How Satan's Jesus, how competitive players see cast form, that was very accurate. How people in the UK see cast form, how Mikey sees cast form. Mikey doesn't have a C, that's Mickey, but also true. Snoop Dogg reveals only person to outsmoke him. Oh, that's brilliant. And welcome to the newest episode of Ask Pizza Pie at some. Yep, welcome to Ask Pizza Pie, everybody. You're Charizard, you're Charizard, you're Charizard, I'm Charizard. Are there any other Charizards I should know about? Yeah, Metal Greymon, Steel Charizard. Person points out Diglett's nose looks like a mouth with 1 tooth. Me. That's a well edited meme. That one's great. When you realize that Ash's Pikachu was Gigantamax all the time, I think he meant all along. Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising. Me actually downvoting a post instead of upvote, more than there are evolutions. When you drew a meme, but it doesn't get any upvotes, I just wanted to impress people. Wow, wow, someone drew the frame. Wow, that's really good. You succeeded in impressing people and got some upvotes, it seems, as well. All right, here's the time travel thing again. What was MJTV's last video? Oh, you mean the owner of Game Freak? We're in heaven? I hate to break it to you guys, but owning Game Freak is not my ultimate career goal. I just want to keep creating fun content. I don't need to run a game developing company. I mean, I would have a lot of creative control over Pokemon franchise. So maybe that is my dream. Do you know more about me than I know about me? Dear God. The final boss at full health. The final boss when you unlock him as a playable character. Apparently, speaking of Stakataka, or as I like to call it, Stakataka, apparently it gets body press whenever it's going to be added. Like, people data mined home, and Stakataka is gonna get body press. And if you don't know, body press is a move that uses the Pokemon's defense stat instead of its attack stat. And Stakataka has 210, I think, base defense. So, dear God. Gigantamax Cramorant. Oh, that's great. Wow. Kudos to whoever drew that. I love that idea. Do you still eat food in 2020? No, I be photosynthesizing. Heck yeah. Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Mark Creamy seems very interested in Marshadow. Aw. Wow. The color coordination on that pair is impressive. Upvote if you think all of the starters should appear on Pokemon Talk. I mean, yeah, eventually. I've got plushies for several of these. It just takes time and oh no! The garbage truck is here. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it clear as day when it accelerates. It's like, oh, little penguin, you thought you could be the best ice type in Galar? I'm a head out. 2.1 meters, 1.7 meters. Wait, what? That doesn't seem to be real. According to the internet, over 7 feet tall. That result is fake. There's that. I think that's photoshopped. Peppa Pig is not actually 7 feet tall. Cute and adorable boy. Dr. Phil, am I missing some context here? Pori Croft. That's pretty good. Oh. Got a shiny love disc, but had no Pokeballs. Ah, rip. Special instructions, send your cutest delivery boy. It's Yamper, hello. Leon, wait, this isn't the restroom? This is Kix, he's got crazy fire legs and I'd literally kill and die for him. This is Drizzle, he needs a lot of emotional support, but he does his best and I'm proud of him. Aw. When was Red Bull invented? 1984. Zapdos in 1983. Red Bull gives you, oh, Zapdos didn't have wings and then drank Red Bull when it was invented and then got wings. Okay, I have followed the logic now. For a second, I thought this was saying that this Galarian Zapdos inspired Red Bull, which I was like, wait, what? But okay. When you see your meme under the meme, Michael is reacting, but Michael skipped your meme. Sorry fam, it happens sometimes. 50 subs, 50 Pokemon Talk episodes. That is not Bulbasaur, that's a different Bulbasaur plushie. 1 million subs, 1 million Pokemon Talk. Oh gosh, that's a great, I love that Photoshop though where the shell is the brain. Studios switching. Bulbasaur, I just realized something. Wait, I don't fully understand that last one. Oh, what a lovely compilation of lovely faces. Second great meme when the teacher says she needs a big strong man to help her carry the desk. Sonia explaining the history of Galar, me mashing A to skip the dialogue. You hatch an IV, Bredsa landed. It has a good nature. It has its hidden ability. It's even shiny. And it's male. R.I.P. Me waiting for Pokemon abilities explained, part 5. Oh, wow. What a throwback. You're gonna keep waiting. I'm sorry. Those videos were a lot of work and didn't do particularly well, so. Oh goodness. Oh God. People have too much power. Surprised Chonkachu? There you go. That's what we like to see. I'd say my Shinx has good taste. Your Shinx does have good taste. You're watching the correct content. Upvoting so Mikey can see. Upvoting because you actually like the meme. Correct. No more upvote so Mikey can see posts. They're dumb and I hate them. Corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture. They're the same picture. This jelly donut. Oh man, I miss the 4Kids dub. Oh, this is just priceless. So a meme of Jubilee's tweet. So I'll read this because it's a funny story. Last night, Mikey and I were laying in bed and I thought he'd fallen asleep. Suddenly he turns to me and says, hey, you wanna make out? I'm like, okay, and I start kissing him. Turns out he's talking in his sleep and wakes up to me kissing him with no idea what's going on. That is a true story. That actually happened. I like wake up to Jubilee kissing me and apparently Sleep Talk asked her if she wanted to. So, shout out to Asleep Me, he's a great wingman. Jolly good. Opal makes me do the Fortnite dance and all the traders shout, jolly good white boy, jolly good. Why is that so funny? Oh, that's a cool little trainer card for me. I like the squad on it. Good work. I think cats can see Pokemon. Ooh, it's fascinated. Can we be the legendaries now? Oh, that comic is great. I love Fabulous Grookey. No one heals themselves by wounding another. Giga Drain, fool, you're wrong! Oh, cool, Applin variants, I like that. When you can read a meme without the text. Some people will call me. Wow, I just misremembered the quote. I think oh no, oh God. It's some people describe me as incredibly talented. I knew it was incredibly talented, I just blanked on the first few words. A social experiment. Clearly a successful one. This many upvotes and it's literally just a picture of a snom. All right, I like that one. That was pretty good. Don't be intimidated, Squidward. Try to imagine him in his underwear. Oh no, he's hot! That's one of my favorite scenes in all of SpongeBob. Just what a well-written joke. Discount weather trio? Wait, why is Groudon a sand slash? Groudon's like a lizard, not a shrew. When Castform's forms finally get a shiny, it's been 3,000 years. Are either of you good at interrupting intros and being shocked about changes in the floor? My time has come. Wow, that does do look like it. That's great. Nintendo, Mikey, here you go. Yes! Can I? Hail yeah! Congrats on 1 million subs, Mikey. What a cool graphic. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Pokemon Meme Review. It was a great one. I am disappointed I did not see any Metronome Battle Federation memes. Make sure those are there the next time. Thank you so much for watching, and an extra special thanks to my forms with the weather, its weather forms would look exactly the same as a regular cast forms. It is a terrible injustice to a wonderful Pokemon, and Game Freak has finally remedied it. And they look great! The Hail one is even my channel colors. Is it my new channel mascot? Absolutely. That's not the focus of this video. Majority of these shiny Pokemon are caught either in my Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. There's a few that I sent in from Pokemon Go, like Meltan and Melmetal had to be. But you know, there's a couple others like Aerodactyl and Pinsir, but the vast majority I hunted myself. Took me a long time, and I defeated every Master Trainer using just the shiny Pokemon except Mew, because you can't get a shiny Mew in Let's Go. You guys should watch the montage video for that. It's one of my lowest viewed videos of like the last year, which is a shout of that accomplishment. I think it's my most impressive accomplishment in any Pokemon game ever, so you should watch it. I'll put it up in the cards. But yeah, this is I just brought them straight in, sorted in Pokedex order. These are just Let's Go shinies. I've got all of them over here. They keeps going all the way until almost ending right here. The only one that's not in here is Hexagod, my shiny Melmetal. And now you can see we are in my mythical box. I collected all of my mythical Pokemon. The only Pokemon that's not mythical here is the Vivillon. Like, takes your dex from bank. So if it's registered in like your bank Pokedex, then you don't actually have to physically bring it into home to register it here. Because my Hoopas, I had 2 of them, never left my Omega Ruby, but they're registered here on my game. And I don't have them here because after that registered, I was looking through my boxes. I'm like, look, let me look at my Hoopas, and I realized they are super hacked. Like, dear God, they're not legit. Like, one of them says it was hatched. So I don't know how I got them. I did not do that hacking myself. I don't know if a friend traded them to me and I forgot about it. I have no memory of getting those hacked Hoopa, but as soon as I realized, I was like, oh God, and I released them because they can never come off that game anyway because they're hacked to crap. But I think that's the only mythical Pokemon I'm missing. Marshadow is not here, but I do have it. It's in my sword. I love Marshadow. I wanted to train mine up, you know, EV train it, hyper train it. So I'm using it in my sword. That is why it is not here. All of these were
The scale of battle has changed.
all of these were obtained myself through various events. One of these Celebes is like from the bank event. One of these is from Win 2011. No idea what that is. This is probably most of these are like the 20th anniversary monthly distributions. The only mythicals here that I did not obtain myself from an event are this Keldeo, which was traded to me by someone. I posted a tweet about needing a Keldeo, and I had this Jirachi here is from a Gen 4 GameStop distribution, and I had an extra one somehow. I got two, maybe on like two different game cards, and then I like put them in the same thing. I don't know, but I had an extra, so I traded them one of my extra Jirachis for this Keldeo, and this Volcanion, I never got a Volcanion, was gifted to me by my YouTube partner manager, Dominic. We met up at an event at the YouTube space shortly after Home came out, and I mentioned that I was missing a Volcanion. And so he was like, you can have mine, I have no use for it. So that's how I got a Volcanion. So shout out to Dom. Thanks, buddy. I have a Volcanion now, which is great. So really, I just need to find a Hoopa, and my mythical collection is complete. And so if you have one that you don't care about, hit a brother up. So next is box 6, and here's where we start to get into my incomplete living dex. I have never assembled a living dex in my life. Sounded like too much work. But now that I had just a ton of Pokemon in home, mostly unorganized, I was like, you know what? To amuse myself in my free time, I'm going to try to start to assemble a living dex. I made it so that it has to be non-shinies, because obviously I have a ton of shiny Kanto Pokemon, but I want the shinies to stay together. So the living dex has to be non-shiny Pokemon, and I've started organizing them. You'll notice there are no Alola forms. more Galarian forms with these. You know, the Rattata and Raticate aren't here. That's because I started to do this and then realized if they add any more regional variants, like with the DLC, I'm gonna have to shift everything. And then I tweeted about that and someone said, well, I just put them at the end of the region that they're from. And I was like, that's brilliant. So once I get to Gen 7, my Alola forms will go there. Once I get to Gen 8, my Galarian forms will go there. But yeah, like I said, it's incomplete. Missing Wartortle. I have a shiny Wartortle, but like I said, I don't want the shiny to go there. No gaps here, no gaps here. Wow, you can almost, this Dugong is almost invisible. No gaps here. My Kanto, well, finished it, I'll start filling in the gaps. Unless I have some extra changes. Like I had some gaps in Kanto, so I just linked to my Let's Go and was like, do I have this Pokemon? Yes, toss it in. Before I move on from this Living Dex section though, there are some Pokemon in here that I wanted to draw attention to because I think they're really interesting. And so one of them is this Golem, level 69, very nice. This Golem is actually from my Soul Silver, my first ever playthrough of Soul Silver. This is my playthrough team Golem. I've got him in here in my game. He's an Adamant Nature, which I didn't actually know, so that's pretty cool. This Ampharos, also from my Soul Silver playthrough. Another team member that I've brought into here, which is cool. He's impetuous and silly. It's me as a Pokemon. And then I want to talk about my Kanto legendaries. Notice how this Articuno is in a Cherish Ball, and it has Snow Cloak. I was sorting through, I got this Articuno, put it in there, and I was like, wait a second, why is it in a Cherish Ball? Why does it have Snow Cloak? And then I realized, I had to look this up because I'd completely forgotten. There was a serial code event distribution back in like 2015, 2016 to the Gen 6 games of hidden ability legendary Kanto birds. You had to be a part of the trainer card newsletter, and they would send you a code that was unique to you, and you could get hidden ability legendary birds in Cherish Balls, and I got all three. Here's my Static Zapdos and my Flame Body Moltres, all in Cherish Balls. I'd completely forgot about this, thought it was super cool when I found them, and while the hidden ability aspect isn't as cool as it used to be, because now you can get them relatively easily with the Virtual Console versions of Gen 1, you just catch them there and transfer them into Bank, and they will have their hidden abilities, because all Virtual Console Pokemon are hidden ability. But it's so cool that I have them in Cherish Balls. It's like one-time event that, you know, you can't get them anymore. So maybe I'll use this Cherish Ball Moltres as my egg hatching Pokemon once I can put them into Sword and Shield. But speaking of Virtual Console, this Mewtwo, this level 100 Mewtwo, has its hidden ability, Unnerve. It is from the Virtual Console. I got this from Wonderbox. The bulk wonder trading you do in the Pokemon Home mobile app, a Mewtwo just showed up. Level 100, it seems to be legit. If it's not legit, it was made to be legit, so I'm choosing to believe it's legit. And I got a Mewtwo from Wonder Trade, which is one of the wildest things I've ever gotten from that before. So this is it. It's very cool. And yeah, that was a wild thing to get. So now that we've gotten through my Pokemon, none of these look like they're playthrough Pokemon. Mon. Did I name it that? Oh, that's from a trade. Stopfen. Nothing of particular. Oh, here are my Dittos. I spent a long time, I think back in Gen 6. Let me check this summary. Yep, Unova region. I spent a long time back in Gen 6 getting a Ditto of every single nature. Didn't worry about IVs. It was just for the sake of passing natures down when I wanted to breed a certain nature onto a Pokemon. But I don't know if this is all of them. This is at the very least most of them. Most of my Dittos of every nature that I have gotten here now, and could bring him into Sword and Shield anytime I want. Probably will, honestly. Oh, it continues. Look at that. Some Bagon breed checks down here. This is Frozone. What game are you from, Frozone? Where's my super suit? The Kanto region. I wish it would tell me what generation. Is this a Gen 3? Or is this from Let's Go? No, it would have a Let's Go emblem, wouldn't it? This one's from the Sinnoh region. Wow, I have no idea where these legendary birds came from. See, that's the fun thing about this, is just seeing these Pokemon and having no idea what their origins are. Ooh, these are hidden ability Unova starters. Contrary, Reckless, Shell Armor. These are from, I think, a Pokemon Bank event years ago. And I forgot to mention that reminds me, the Johto starters that I have are also event hidden ability Johto starters. Sheer Force, Flash Fire, and Leaf Guard. So I have hidden ability hidden abilities of those. So if you need any, well, I'm probably not gonna be the one to give them to you, but I have them, so that's cool for me. Nothing else in this box is particularly interesting or exciting. No idea. Jane sent me a Salamence at some point. Some of these Pokemon Krakatoa, wow. Did I name that? Yeah, Michael. Wow, look at me nicknaming things. From the Hoenn region. Don't know which gen. And I can't. That's one of the, oh wait, the Hexagon. The Hexagon is Gen 6, okay. That's right, I remember the Hexagon is the Gen 6, the plus sign is Gen 7. And if it's not in one of those, then it's something else. Do the Let's Go Pokemon have certain symbols? We should look at that. Okay, if it's Let's Go, it has little ears, as you can see at the top next to the shiny symbol. So that's how we know if it's from Let's Go. Pardon the interruption, but I just want to take a quick second to thank the sponsor for this video, Raycon. Raycon makes super high quality wireless earbuds that sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know, but start at about half the price. They come in lots of fun colors and patterns, but they're also stylish and discreet, with no dangling wires to worry about. Celebrities like Snoop Dogg, Cardi B, and myself are obsessed with Raycons, and for good reason. Raycon sent me their latest model, the E25, and it's the best one yet. Each charge gives you 6 hours of playtime, and the charging carrying case holds 24 hours of battery life. They also have easy Bluetooth pairing, more bass, fun new colors, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. If you want some super comfortable, great sounding, and reasonably priced earbuds, then Raycon earbuds are what you need. Head to buyraycon.com/MNJTV, linked in the description below, to get 15% off your order. Thanks so much to Raycon for sponsoring and for the earbuds, but now back to the video. So I guess if it's that one that was from the Kanto region, what Pokemon was I looking at? That's right, this Articuno. If it doesn't have the plus, or if it doesn't have the Let's Go symbol, and it's from the Kanto region, and it doesn't have its hidden ability, I think this is a Fire Red or Leaf Green Articuno. Unless you could get them in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but I think the region is based on the name. I believe if you catch it in the Kanto region, but the Kanto in Heart Gold or Soul Silver, it still will say from the Johto region, I think. So I think this is a Gen 3, Articuno, so that's cool. I don't see anything here that really stands out to me. Same situation here, a lot of Torchic breed Jex. Fun fact, I have a shiny Torchic, I think later in the boxes, that I think came from this same batch of trying to breed a competitive speed boost Blaziken. And of course, the shiny didn't have speed boost because life is terrible. Here's another batch of seemingly random, mostly Hoenn, actually not mostly at all, it's completely random. So nothing of particular excitement here. Nothing that really stands out to me here either. So many of these boxes are just like boxes I assembled over the years trying to complete Pokedexes in various games, like in X and in Oris, and they've just kind of been conglomerated from all sorts of different generations over the years, so my boxes are a complete mess, as you can see, but that's why I'm doing the Living Dex thing, because I want to organize it to at least some degree. Washington, this looks like a competitive, is this a Gen 5 competitive? In the Hoenn region. No, it's Gen 6. Yeah, it's got the Hexagon. Okay. Must have used that for something. I don't remember what. Here's a shiny event Xerneas. There was some distribution of that. I got the Xerneas and the Zygarde, and I didn't get the Yveltal. Okay, so a couple of these Pokemon here are from my brother's White 2 game. Justin, I got him to play White 2. It took a lot of pestering to get him to finally finish it. He clearly wasn't that into it, but he named all his Pokemon after Greek gods. So if there's a Pokemon in here that's a Greek god, Athena, Hephaestus, Poseidon, Ares. Oh God. Those are from his playthrough. So a couple of these three, I rescued them from his White 2 before. Who even knows what happened to that save file? Oh, a Suicune. That's cool. Oh, this is yeah, there's another Heart Gold Pokemon. There's another Heart Gold playthrough Pokemon. I mean, I added it to my team after I beat the league for the first time. I had a Poliwrath and I swapped it for a Suicune. Wow, it's timid. Man, how did I end up with good natures on a playthrough team? So yeah, that's another 4 of my 6 Heart Gold Pokemon we have found, no, 3. We found 3 so far, so that's cool. Another box of, wait, Tango. Have I named more than one? If you're keeping up with the Metronome Battle Federation on my second channel, which you should, it's so much fun, the draft league for Metronome Battles, I named my Ludicolo Tango, and clearly that is something I have thought of before. Here's a shiny Garchomp. This is not mine. It's from Susie, and I have no idea where it came from. Just, I think it was Justin's game at one point that I like removed all the Pokemon from before like one of us started it over or something, and this was on there. This is not my Garchomp. I don't know where it came from, but it's here now, so it exists. Also, here's another from Susie, whoever Susie is. Maybe this was like a used game version we got or something like that. But this is Rontar, the Luxray. Again, OT Susie. There's several random Pokemon around here from that. Another Susie Pokemon. That's gotta be what it is. Some used version we bought. A shiny Alakazam from Susie. Again, that is in my possession now. Yeah, this entire box, it seems, are OTs that are not mine. And so, like this is enforcing the theory that we bought some used version. It just had a bunch of Pokemon on it, and I just removed all of them, put them on some other game for safekeeping, and now they've ended up in my home. So I have all of these decent Pokemon now. It's continuing here. Here's another. Who is Susie? We must solve the Susie mystery. But here's Mewtwo, Steffi. It's a German Mewtwo. I have a German Mewtwo somehow, so that's fun. This is Black 2 Ampharos. I recognize the name. This is a Black 2 Flygon. That might be Black 2. Yeah, Unova region. There's a good chance it is. Here's a box with several Charmander breed checks. I made several competitive Charizards and Charmeleon, or various Charizards back in Gen 6 when I was like super into the Megas. So these are here. These might be Black 2 playthrough Pokemon 2 that I just didn't nickname, which is weird that the Flygon and the Ampharos are nicknamed, but these are not. But I remember using them at some point. Wish I could remember my Black 2 team better. It was a team that wasn't just 6. I like rotated around like 8, 9, maybe even 12 different Pokemon around. This sock feels like that's from that game. Maybe I nicknamed some of them and not others? How strange of me. I'm weird. Oh, this is an event Entei. Whoa, this is a discovery that I am just making. 2018 Legends. This was maybe like one of those like card distributions that I like got the Entei for. I think this was on, yeah, it's got the little clover, so it's from a Gen 7 game. Huh, and here's one of my, I think this is the Ultra Sun Solgaleo. Because the one that I used on my Sun playthrough team I called Nebulon, not Nebby. Here are some, what I believe to be competitively perfect Galarian Darumaka. I've been shiny hunting one of my games, still haven't gotten one. But I put some of the competitively perfect ones on here. Maybe they're breed checks, I don't remember. These are some Contrary Snivy breed checks. These are some old Lotad breed checks. Magnemite breed checks, don't know why. More Torchic breed checks. This was from a Wonder Box, that's why the Nidoran is randomly in here. These are just breed checks. I think from my Gens either 5 or 6 games. These are Shuckle breed checks. Oh, that reminds me. Wait, we gotta go back to the Living Dex segment. This Shuckle here
I wanna give a shout out. It's called Stonewall. Back in X version, I had a 3v3 like online single battle team, which was a Mega Charizard X and Starmie and Shuckle. And on 2 separate occasions, Starmie and Charizard went down, and then by using the stall strategy of Infestation, Toxic, Protect, and Shell Smash, holding, I believe, leftovers, I swept teams of 3 on 2 separate occasions. One of the most impressive things I've ever done, sweeping people with a Shuckle. So I'm really glad I still have this Shuckle, because that's a fond memory of mine. Here's another box of Breedgex with a couple random Pokemon swapped in because of Wonderbox stuff. I've been Wonderboxing my Breedgex, which is why there's a random Cherubi here and a Litten down here. Here are some Pokemon currently in my Wonderbox. Here's a fun Minior, which is cute. A Wonderbox Minior. Yeah, there's a couple Mega Kangaskhan Breedgex in here. And here, okay, I was like, wait, oh, a shiny Dialga. Wait, a shiny Giratina. Wait, and then it occurred to me. These are my shinies that are not from Let's Go. These were caught over the course of just the last few years, mostly, either in a Gen 6 Friend Safari, Omega Ruby hunt, or potentially Gen 7 SOS or Legendary resetting, other than Tapu Koko and Zygarde, which are events. And this shiny Dragalge I got from Wonder Trade in Pokemon X version called Who Cares? OT is it's shiny, LOL. Probably not legit, but I didn't make it, and it appears legit, so I'm choosing to believe that it is. So I got to this shiny box and I realized that some of my shinies or several of my shinies I had moved on to my sword version, the ones that I could. So I wanted to connect sword so you could see all of them together. There's several boxes of them. Some of the notable ones, this is Friend Safari Gen 6. This is, if you remember the excess of Remoraid's I've got, these are a couple of them, plus this one over here. This is the Giratina I got right before the first encounter Reshiram, which is all the way over here. That's Goldar, I need to train that up. There's the Cobalion I got on the last attempt of a reset, which was very cool. Here's my second shiny Yungoos. The original one, Hero, that I got like 2 minutes into my Sun playthrough, is still on my Sun, which is why it's not here. I probably should move it here. And this right here, this is my pride and joy. This is the first shiny I ever got in any game ever. I was 10 years old. I was 10 and got a random shiny Fearow, which I cleverly named Shiny, and I still have it. I have brought it through all the generations since 3, and now it is on home. It is my room's Pokemon on the mobile version. I love this thing. It is safe here and home, and I intend to bring it into Sword if it's added in the DLC. So I'm very proud to have this after all those years. It was not lost to the sands of time, which makes me happy. All right, here's another box. This is not a shiny. This is a Zamazenta. I really needed a Zamazenta because I didn't have one that was mine, and so I put a shiny Pumpkaboo on the GTS and tweeted about it, asking for a Zamazenta, and I got one, so here it is. But these are some more, that's not a shiny, you don't need to be here. Very shinies. These are mostly Friend Safari shinies. These are event distribution shiny legendary beasts. We'll move to the second shiny box in here. Several of these are Gen 7 ones, like Indeedee and Dreadnought, of course. Here's my shiny Mewtwo. This is a Rhyperior shiny I got back in Platinum version. Various Magikarps from that event. This is a shiny Toxtricity because somebody else got a shiny, it was Super Blah. He got a shiny Gigantamax Toxtricity raid and invited me, and I hopped in. Here's my shiny Wartortle. Here's another box of shinies that still, they keep coming. Most of these are Ultra Wormhole shinies. There's a really cool shiny Chestnut that I have. Ultra Wormhole shinies are Ultra Sun
soft resetting shinies. Do I have another one over here? No, I do not. Okay. And so yeah, that ends my my shiny boxes. I've got them all spread about among 5 of them. Here's another box of random Pokemon. I think these are Heart Gold, Soul Silver Pokemon. Heart Gold, Soul Silver Legends. Yeah, the Lugia. That was another Pokemon I used on my playthrough team. So I found another one. Hooray! I mean, at least I used it some of the time. And then the Ho-Oh from my Soul Silver. So I still have those, which is pretty cool. These are competitively perfect Phalanx. There's a row missing because I left a row in Sword, and there's one missing up here because it's, I think, still in Sword. But these are competitively perfect ones that I got over the course of my Phalanx shiny hunt, which I have yet to complete because my luck was terrible. Did like 1,500 eggs for various Pokemon before finally getting that Indeedee. After breeding Indeedee for like an hour at most. So I've released a lot more competitively perfect Phalanx than I have because I had so many and I was running out of room. But these are all competitively perfect. They're not EV trained, but they have the right IVs and nature and stuff like that. Here's Darumaka, I think competitively perfect, maybe Breedjects. I'll have to look into that. Here are various Breedjects from the MBF. I was helping myself, of course, because I have Impidimp and Milcery and Mr. Mime, but then these Ghastlies are Breedjects from when I was helping breed Justin's team because he was short on time and I told him I'd help him out. The random Pokemon sprinkled in here are all from the Wonder Box. So I sent out a Breedject and the Wonder Box Pokemon come back in the same place. More Breedjects, the Indeedees. I was helping Justin because he had male Indeedee, and I got my shiny while trying to breed an Indeedee for him to use in the MBF. These are, again, Wonder Box Pokemon that have been tossed in. More Indeedee Breedjects, had quite a few of them, and I didn't release any of them. I just brought them all in here. Tyrogue Breedjects, because I was helping breed him Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee for his team, so I had quite a few of these in here. These are Lotad Breedjects from my own Ludicolo. And more Mr. Mimes and stuff like that. Again, Wonder Box Pokemon sprinkled throughout. Here's some Cast Form Breedjects. Don't know where they came from. Like, they were just on my Omega Ruby. I was like, why do I have Cast Form Breedjects? Might as well get them off there, toss them on here. The rest of these Pokemon are Pokemon that I got in Sword to complete my Pokedex and Heroes. With the Galar Pokemon, you have to actually put them into home and save the game, unlike it seems with Bank. The Pokemon physically have to enter it. So there were some where I had like their evolutions, but not the other forms. And so I spent a couple hours one afternoon getting these in my Sword and then just tossing them in here to complete the Pokedex. This is a random box. I don't know where all these Pokemon came from. I think this is an Omega Ruby Flaristotle, LOL. Oh, that's right. I made one competitive Blaziken a while ago called Copernicus. So I made another one called Flaristotle, Fire Philosophers. Oh, hey, Pokemon from Pierce. I'm old buddy Pierce. I think that was a gift competitive Gyarados from him at one point. Here is a very random box. You got Pokemon from Gen 1 to Gen 7 in here, no idea. Nightwing. Oh, I think this is a competitive Gliscor I made at one point, because I love me some Gliscor. This is another random assortment I think that I yanked out of my Omega Ruby. My Omega Ruby, before removing Pokemon from it to put in home, had like 32 almost full boxes, because I had a ton of Pokemon in Bank, and I like was just bringing entire boxes at a time into Omega Ruby to complete the National Pokedex in there, which I did, but then I like had a super full box in Omega Ruby of just random Pokemon from all kinds of different generations, I'm sure. Probably mostly Gen 6, but various ones. This is a Vivillon with my home region pattern. Oh, this is some pattern of Vivillon. I don't know which one. I don't know how I got it. Maybe like surprise trade at one point, but that's cool that I have that one. Man, these boxes are sparse. I must have taken a lot of Pokemon out of them for the Living Dex assembly. Why are these so spread out? I wish there was a function to just like mash them all together into like one continuous mass like before. Because these are just like so many boxes of just a lot of space and just completely Completely random assortment. Ah, a Yveltal! Named Felipe. That's right. When I played through Y version, X was my main Kalos game, but when I played through Y version, all the main squad members I used, I named after various roommates that I had freshman year of college, and Felipe was one of them. So Felipe got to be the Yveltal. Nothing of particular interest here that I can see. Same. Oh wait, no. Here's the Pokeball pattern Vivian. This was an event distribution at one point, so that's really cool that I have that. Honestly, I should move that to the mythical box to be with the other Vivian. That's probably a good idea. We're just gonna put you right there. There you go. Now here's another very random assortment. That Toxicroak looks shiny, but it's not. Toxicroak's coloration is so confusing. Like all the ones in the anime look shiny, but they're not. It's weird. I do, in fact, own a Miltank. It has to be done. I'm not proud of it, but there it is. I don't see anything of particular significance in this box. Spanktastic, never mind. What? Apparently I have a Blissey from somebody named Invader Jim named Spanktastic. That's hilarious. Nothing of particular interest in here. Oh, this is a competitive, is it competitive? Or is this my playthrough one? I don't remember. I don't remember if this is competitive or not. Let's look at its base points. Those look like random base points to me. I think this is my playthrough Greninja from my X version. Wow, I didn't realize I still had this. That's cool that I just found that. Good for me, wow. Look at that. I have my playthrough Greninja there, that's awesome. Arson, this is I think this was my playthrough Charizard from my X version. From the Kalos region. Base points are random. Nature's random. Yeah, this is my playthrough Charizard. Cool. Wow, I just found 2 of my X playthrough Pokemon. I had no idea where those were. That's like really awesome that I have those. I'm happy I just found those. That's dope. All right, here's a box of mostly Breedjecks, but with swapped around Froakie and Charmander and one Kangaskhan. Here is, is this my black version? I think this is my black version Samurott. I didn't nickname my playthrough team, or white version, excuse me, my white playthrough Samurott. I think this is my my playthrough team, at least 3 of them. This Crocodile too, yeah, I think that's the Crocodile. I don't know where the Archeops is. And then there was one more that I'm brain farting on what my last one was. There was Archeops. Oh, Conkeldurr, is this the Conkeldurr? I think it is, oh my gosh. Oh, I just need to find the Archeops. Wait, I'm gonna do that right now. Let's see if it's in here. It's possible that it's not. It's possible that I didn't transfer it out of my white version because it was my flyer, and it was like anytime I'm back in my white version, I need to have a Pokemon with fly there. So it's possible that I never removed it. What is this Archeops? Level 38, yeah, this is not the playthrough Archeops. So I think the Archeops is still on the cartridge, which I still have. I haven't cleared that save file. So I should grab that at some point, because I love finding playthrough Pokemon that I wasn't sure where they were. Yeah, this is definitely my playthrough team minus the Archeops, because they're all level 70, same OT, and no nicknames, because I remember vividly not nicknaming them in that playthrough. So that's really cool that I have that. Here is a random box. Oh, Mare, he was a friend of mine in college. Apparently I have a Typhlosion from him. I don't remember that, but I have it. This is a oh, from him too. Did we trade multiple times? Apparently, I don't know. This is a random connection. Walrus 9. That's somebody that I think is that Patton? Was Patton the one who always named his trainer that? I don't remember. This is a box of Pokemon I got in trades.